Hello friends, the difference between cost model of valuation and revaluation model of valuation under IAS 16. That is what we are going to discuss in today's video. Hi, my name is Pratheej and welcome to Deep Dive into IFRS. So cost model and revaluation model. What is the difference? Under cost model, suppose you are buying an asset for say $20,000 and after a few years, if you look at the balance sheet, the value of this asset would be somewhere around $10,000 or $12,000. That is, the wear and tear upon using this machine is reduced from this machine's value and the resultant value is shown as the assets value in balance sheet. The thing with this kind of valuation is it is stable, simple, but this does not reflect the market value of this asset as on that date. So if there is a drastic rise or fall in the value of this asset in the market, that will not be reflected in your financial statements. On the contrary, under revaluation method of valuing fixed assets, the current market value is linked to the asset. That is, the valuation will bring the asset more or less to its current market value. So suppose you buy an asset for $20,000. After a year, if suppose the asset's value has increased to $25,000 in the market, then your balance sheet will show the asset value as $25,000 only. And this $5,000 will be taken to revaluation reserve. Suppose in the subsequent year, this $25,000 asset comes down to $18,000. In this case, the asset will be brought down to $18,000. The $5,000 under revaluation reserve will be wiped off and the balance $2,000, that is $20,000 minus $18,000, that will be taken to the profit and loss account. Now let's analyze the two giants of India, Tata Steel and Infosys, how they value their assets and which method do they follow. First, let's take Infosys. For its assets like land and building, Infosys follows cost method of valuation. That is, the purchase price is accounted for at first, and for every year the depreciation for building, whatever that is reduced from the asset value, and the resultant written down value is shown as the asset value. Now, why does Infosys do this? This is to make it simple, clean and predictable. Moreover, as Infosys has several campuses across India, revaluing them every year would be very expensive and not practical. Also, if they keep revaluing these assets every year, that would make the financial statements very hard to read and it will be very volatile. So, to avoid all these, they follow the cost method of valuation. However, for transparency and decision making, Infosys shares the current market value of these assets in the notes to the financial statements so that the investors can make an informed decision based on that. But on the other hand, Tata Steel follows revaluation method for its assets like plant and machinery. Back in 2014, the market value of the plant and machinery of Tata Steel was more than the written down value. So they went in for a revaluation and updated the market value in its books. Now, why did they do this? Tata Steel was looking to borrow money and this upward revaluation resulted in increased net worth and debt equity ratio improved. So citing all this, they went in for borrowing money and that helped them expand. Now this upward revaluation is transferred to revaluation reserve. This is unrealized profit. So the only thing to note here is that out of this revaluation reserves, dividend cannot be paid. So which one should you choose? See, if your company wants steady, simple and clean balance sheet and no complexity at all, then you should go for a cost model like Infosys. But if your company wants to show the assets reflecting the current market value and they are okay with some volatility and they want to increase their financial leverage because of this, then you can go in for revaluation model like Tata Steel does. I hope this video was useful to you guys. Till I see you in my next episode, thank you for your valuable time.